A man just sent me this question. Why do women go after taken men? Men in relationships or men that are married? Woo! Because she is insecure, has nothing to offer, has little or no self-esteem, and you're an easy target, my guy. This woman has nothing to offer. She can't possibly compete with all of the women she would have to compete with in order to get a single man to commit to her, especially if he's good looking, successful. He has too many women around him, and that woman is insecure. She can't compete, so she takes herself out of the running altogether and goes after a man she only has to compete with one woman for, his wife. She will find the cracks in that marriage. She will make herself look irresistible, seduce that man so he leaves his wife, and he does. But guess what? He almost always goes back when he finds out she has little to nothing to offer him but insecurity and low self-esteem.
Are women more privileged than men? Yes, they are, and it's not even close. Women are loved just for existing. They get attention, compliments, protection, free drinks, doors opened for them, etc. And a man, he's invisible until he proves that he can provide, protect, perform, pay, or add value. In other words, earn your spot or disappear. Guess what? A woman can also decide if you become a dad or not. You get zero say. She's pregnant, her body, her choice, my dudes. End of story. Do you want the kid? Doesn't matter. Don't want it? Doesn't matter. 18 years of child support slammed on you without consent, and worse, she cheats. She claims the kid is yours. You raise it for years and discover that it's not yours later. Court and many places still force you to pay until 18 years of age. So you're screwed. One day, she wakes up unhappy, files for divorce, no proof needed, and walks with primary custody most of the time, years of child support, and many times a lifetime of alimony plus half of your assets. Oh, and she isn't required to show you that the money is actually helping your kid. It all goes to her. She can also falsely accuse you with zero consequences. She can claim abuse, rape, online to the police and in court. And if it's proven a total lie, she gets a little slap on the wrist. But you lose your job, your reputation, your sanity, and you can spend years in prison even if you're innocent. The system shields her more than the truth. Men are disposable, not women. Draft registration, men only. Most workplace deaths, men. Most homeless, men. Suicide rate 4 times higher, men. The double standards never end. Man hits a woman, monster, jail. Woman hits a man, what did you do to her? Man cheats, you're trash. Woman cheats, she was just unhappy, he failed. The bottom line is, women get safety nets, sympathy, legal advantages, social worship, and endless help. Men don't. That is just the truth. Pretending that we're both equal is gaslighting half of the population. So wake up.
Men will ask you to go out and then say, what do you want to do? What should where should we go?
Have you ever stopped to consider it's probably because all these women keep saying, oh, this is not good, this is okay, this is not okay. Cheesecake Factory's not fancy enough. I'm not okay with coffee dates. I'm not okay with this. I want this. We see constant lists of dates I will say no to. And men have gotten to the point where they don't even know how to plan a date anymore because nothing is good enough. Because for a lot of men, they don't care where you go on a date, realistically. As long as they're getting to know you and having conversations, that's why they're on the date. That's why women should be on the date too. But unfortunately, that's not the reality we currently live in. Women see it as he should spoil her and spend an insane amount of money. So I think it's gotten to the point where men just flat out ask because they don't want to try to read your mind or take you out potentially and then have it not be good enough and then you ghost him afterwards and then he spent the money on nothing. Like if you look at it from a man's point of view for like 2 seconds, it becomes very obvious.
Respectfully, a lot of you men go through is because you chase the wrong women. I know a lot of great women, including my circle of friends, and we don't act like the little dusties y'all be chasing.
Yo, not you using my lingo. So here's the thing. I think 2 things can be true. I don't think you're lying. You may know a lot of women who don't show you those behaviors that men are beginning to be more vocal and outspoken about. But in my humble opinion, you also have an incomplete viewpoint. Because what I don't think women realize is, these days you reserve the best parts of who you are for everything else, but give men the short end of the stick. The reason you feel like you have friends that you think the world about is because you get the loyal, I'm there for you through anything version. You get the if you need it and I got it is yours version. You get the I know you're wrong, but we're not going to admit it openly or in front of him or them version. Your career and your job gets the punctual on time version. They get the I have responsibilities here and I want to do them to my best ability version. They get the my manager or boss can call me out and hold me accountable and I'll be receptive even if I don't like it version. Men don't get that. We get the you have to prove every step of the way you deserve my good side, my attention, my respect, my loyalty version. We get the I'll hit you when I feel like it, but you need to make me feel like I'm a priority version. We get the you don't deserve the benefit of the doubt version. The version that you get as her friend and the version that we get in wanting to be her man are two completely different women. To you, since you see the best and most vulnerable sides of her, she may not be one of them ones, but at the same time, she probably is.
Like, I'm confused. Y'all love to call men sassy. Y'all love to call men and this and that. This gives very much lesbian behavior to me. Women do not respect women. And this is something I've realized in my lifespan of having interpersonal relationships and more so even just working with so many women throughout my career. For those of you who are new here, I am a certified life coach. I specialize in love and relationships, self-development, and finances, and I have been doing so for a decade. Y'all remember when Nipsey Hussle or whatever, right? And Lauren London, I think to this day, Lauren London that's my baby. That's the man that changed it all for me. That's the man that really gave me a good scope on relationships. That's who was just going to be till the day I die, right? And I think there was I forgot who it was it Kodak Black maybe? I don't remember who it was, but there was some entertainer who had tried to make some type of advances towards Lauren London on social media. I don't remember how it went, but y'all know because y'all keep up with this stuff way more than I do. And there was a plethora of male entertainers that came out talking about leave her alone, Nipsey this and respect Nipsey that and so on and so forth, right? Do you know why they stood up for Lauren London? It was not predominantly because of Lauren. It was because of Nipsey, because they respected Nipsey. Men respect men, but women do not respect women as a whole. That's why you'll see that men are less likely to be side dudes as opposed to women who are more likely to be side chicks. These are statistically proven. I made a video about it. I'm not arguing with you. This is why men can go on their boys trip and come back all friends. And then when some women go on these girls trips, they come back beefing, hating each other. And sometimes, unfortunately, someone doesn't come back at all. I talk a lot about romantic relationships on this page, right? And that's because that's where my expertise is in. That's what y'all want to hear. But honestly, if you do not know how to have a good relationship with a woman, with the person that you're more than likely going to have a relationship with or multiple relationships with, you're unlikely to have a good relationship with a man, romantic relationship that is. At one point when the women were getting the BBLs and their bodies done and all this type of stuff, I would say it was for a man. Now y'all are doing it to compete with the other woman because you want to look better for the other woman. I'm confused. Y'all love to call men sassy. Y'all love to call men and this and that. This gives very much lesbian behavior to me. Y'all doing everything in competition with another woman. Y'all changing yourselves in competition with another woman. You only want to have aesthetically pleasing female friends. Let's be for real. Let's work on having better relationships with ourselves and better relationships with the people around us. And again, women are going to gravitate towards women. So focusing on having those more impactful, meaningful, genuine relationships with other females. Let's start there. Stay safe.
A high quality man is truly just an average woman, and I really, really, really can't explain how true that is. Because the thing that men are competing with are not other men. It's actually other women. I was having a really bad week and I texted a bunch of girlfriends. I was like, hey, can you guys just come over? Because I really need some friend time and just sweatpants and chill time. And basically all of them showed up the next day with gifts, with little gifts and flowers. And we all just sat around in our sweats and ate takeout and just talked. And unfortunately, I have dated guys who I'll tell them I'm having a bad day and they're just like, whoa, well, that sucks. And I'm not saying it's all men. I'm just saying it's some men because I've dated good guys. I have dated really good guys, but I've also dated a lot of really, really bad guys. So it's just astounding. I'm like, if I have such good girlfriends, no wonder why the bar is so high. I have such good friends who treat me so well. Why would I accept any less? Seriously, if you're a guy, it's really not that hard. It's just thoughtful gifts and time. And that's not even just a love language thing. I think that's just a connection and listening and hearing other people and considering other person thing. That's all. It's not that difficult.
And I'm really glad that somebody's finally saying that there are a lot of women out here that are home workers. A lot of these women out here are terrible women. I mean, they're sitting up there. It'd be one thing if a man was pursuing you. And this doesn't absolve the man of taking you up on your offer. right? Because you offer, oh, I can do it better than she can do it, yada, yada, yada. Foolishness. So, he's still as much responsible in this as you are. But modern women, they realize, oh, I can't get this man. There's too many women around him. And so they go for the man that's already married. I mean, honestly and truly, we have to back up and say it just depends. Because if the man is married and he makes a lot of money, it's going to be women that are competing for this man, even if he's married, because he makes a lot of money and I'm trying to steal him. So even if he is married, right, but he's quote unquote high value, these women are still going. They're still going for this man. They'll call this woman's house. They'll be up in this woman's, well, once again, he let her in. So he's a part of disrespecting this woman, right? Be up in this woman's house, in her bed, taking pictures, sending it to her. I'm in your bed. This is my place now. Like really weird stuff. Really weird stuff.
When the women in their 30s come online to say, where are the men in their 30s? Where do they hang out? What do they do? I get such secondhand embarrassment. Because it's like, girl, I think, okay, so society has lied to women, unfortunately. And a lot of girls thought in their 20s, I'm just going to, live, laugh, love. 20s are for fun, ha, ha, ha. And then when they turn 30, they're like, okay, I'm ready to be serious. Where are the men? The men are gone. A lot of the good men are gone, because the ones that knew that they wanted to be husbands and fathers are typically already husbands and fathers by the time that they're 30, or at least working towards that, because a lot of people don't want to be old parents or whatever. And the other half that are still left are the ones who either didn't want to be husbands and fathers in the first place, so they weren't on track to doing that, or the ones that tried to be that and then probably failed at their previous relationships. So you're looking at leftovers, babe. And you yourself have now become one of those leftovers. Sorry. I hope you find one though.
It has never been easier to be a dangerous, respectable, high-value man than right now. And I'm about to prove it to you with the cold, harsh truth. You've been lied to. Dating's impossible. The odds are stacked. Women have endless options and you're invisible. I call on that. The competition that you're terrified of, it barely exists. There are masculine men out there. Sure, but for every one man who actually has done the deep work, faced his demons, built his body, sharpened his mind, became a centered, strong, and dangerous man, there are 70 who haven't. 70 to 1. And here's what should light a fire under your ass. Gorgeous women, secure, attractive, sexy, they are out there in huge numbers, scrolling, dating, searching, desperate to find the rare man who is worth it. A man who's calm instead of reactive, strong instead of soft, assertive instead of submissive. A man with real purpose who doesn't need her validation to stand tall at all. That man is so rare that when he enters the room, women feel and go absolutely crazy. So wake up. You're not competing against millions of strong men. You're competing against a tiny handful who actually did the work. The line that you're scared of, the line is short and almost nobody is standing in it. Your only real job is to become that man. Heal what's broken, build what's weak, destroy the excuses holding you back. Then demand it. The demand is massive, guys. The supply is tiny. And the only thing between you and that total advantage is the work that you keep avoiding. So tell me, my dude, what is the one thing that you know you have been putting off?
My responsibility is to know when you're hungry and feed you.
To make sure that I'm fed.
We literally were walking around coffee shops and pastry shops and pizza shops.
I wonder why dating is so exhausting for men. I wonder why. This is why.
Starve yourself for hours before we go to dinner. You're not the only one who suffers. You make me suffer because you're so angry.
That is a very valid thing to bring up in a relationship. And it's her responsibility to make sure she eats or speaks up. Again, they were walking around from what he said. She could have easily been like, okay, I'm hungry. Can we stop real quick and grab me something? Not just take it out on him. You're not his pet where he has to, bring your food bowl and your water bowl. A lot of women talk about doing the mental load and having to be overwhelmed by things. But then situations like this happen. You realize him keeping track of whether or not you've eaten today and trying to figure out why you're grumpy because you won't tell him is him doing mental load, right?
The real reason that men hate feminism is because it makes women harder to impress. It's not because it makes women hate us. It makes them harder to impress, and it exposes mediocrity within men. As a man, it is very easy for me to see that the bar for us has been very low for generations, right? The way that we contribute emotionally in relationships, the way we contribute to family life, household, the way that we parent, all of this has come at the expense of women, right? And it has contributed to male entitlement and male privilege. It's not feminism that has made women bitter. It is men that have made women bitter, right? Feminism allows them to become fluent in male entitlement, male privilege, and also male fragility, right? Once they have language for those things, they become much harder for us to manipulate. And I think that's why so many men hate feminism. We say that it's oppressing men, when really it's just removing our ability to manipulate women. At least that's what I've seen.
Imagine being an average man. Now I want you to let that thought sink in for a second, because I know a couple of people are thinking, oh, I'm saying not that deep. It's peak, so peak. So you need to think, average men to most women are completely invisible. Like, they just Marco, Polo, Marco. And by average man, I just mean like, look, you're 6, 7 out of 10 looks, average height, maybe even a bit smaller, you know, average jobbish type of vibe. Like, you don't really have too much standout features going for yourself. But what's the peakest bit though, is women are completely different, in my opinion. Imagine a meaty ting, what, 5, 6, 7 out of 10, she could slap on makeup, she's good to go. Or the other way around, a woman can have no qualities, but then just be good looking, good to go, same type of vibe. Men don't get that privilege, so go work on yourself, go.
Do you even realize that these red pill manosphere men are all telling you that women want bad guys because that advice doesn't work? Because it's just gonna make more women hate you? So that you could think, oh, I must be doing something wrong. I gotta keep buying their course so they can teach me their ways. Like, this is the same kind of shit that makes people fall for Flat Earth and Trump. It's straight up marketing. Can't you see that you're being a sucker? All these people that treat these manosphere bros seriously are just suckers. You're falling for all their lies. And they know what they're doing. They are purposely telling you awful advice so that you could keep on relying on them and they could keep getting your money. Do you really want to keep doing that? Their advice only works for broken women. Women that like to be humiliated and made fun of. Because they think that's the only way to get a man's attention. Like, come on guys. You can do better. You can do better than being a bunch of suckers for these manosphere bros.
Society has pushed women so hard on being independent and strong and equal to men that it has swung the pendulum so far that it has made them overly masculine. So now at this point in their life, a lot of feminine women are just like, I am sick of burning myself out. I want to be taken care of by a healthy, strong, masculine man. But they're carrying so much guilt for even thinking like that. Like there's something wrong with having a man to provide for them so they're not burning themselves out day in and day out. Let me tell you something. It is the masculine nature, biologically and biblically, to provide for women, okay? So don't feel guilt if you're a feminine woman who is tired of burning herself out, that wants to be with a man who provides for her and takes care of her. There's nothing wrong with that.
So I think that a lot of women be thinking that they be doing men favors, right? So have you ever heard a woman say, oh yeah, girl, I just settled for him. He wasn't even my type. Let me tell you something about men. Men don't want y'all favors, right? And the worst thing that you can do to a man that they just really don't like is sit up there and act like you settled for this man. Because the man coming in your life and making your life better by helping to pay bills, by being there for you emotionally, by supporting you, all these things that you expect a man to do, he's also adding value to your life. So how dare you say that, oh, I just settled for him? No, leave him alone. Let him find a woman that will value him, and then you go be with somebody else that may be settling for you. Let's talk about it. I need y'all to get yourselves together.
Men are simple, women are complicated. Let me tell you how to treat a woman, how to treat your wife. You'll stay married for 100 years. Wine her, dine her, call her, hold her, surprise her, compliment her, smile at her, listen to her, laugh with her, cry with her, romance her, encourage her, believe in her, pray with her, pray for her, cuddle with her, shop with her, give her jewelry, buy her flowers, hold her hand, write love letters to her, go to the ends of the earth and back again for her. How to treat a man. Show up naked, bring chicken wings, don't block the TV.
Their impression of the average man is not the correct depiction of the average man, because they're only encountering the average man who they are meeting. The average man they are meeting is not the average man, because most men are not out there at all. So the average man that comes up to you, if you're a woman, the average man that comes up to you and approaches you at a bar, in real life, anywhere, that is a man who, at minimum, is able to do that. But the average man is not even there. He's not even in the arena. He's not even in the city where the game's being played.
I don't think modern women be understanding what they actually be saying. This woman just described gifts, which is a love language, and then said, it's not really a love language. These men out here competing against my girlfriends. I said, I'm having a really bad week. Why don't you guys, I just need basically to talk. And they showed up the next day, all of them with little gifts, which, by the way, you're going to throw away because you can't use them. But it just makes me feel better in the moment. That's what you want a man to do. What 5 women did. four or five women did. Come over. Let's say they bought you a $10 gift and then bought some food over, right? So they probably spent $25. $25. He's got to take on all of that, right? So $125. I think, if my math is correct, it's over $100. What 5 women were able to split, he's got to do it by himself. Do you hear yourself? And you're going to be having with y'all's boss babe stuff going on, you're going to be having a bad day more than once. So what they were able to do and come together for a day, he's going to have to do for more than a day. So it's going to be the $125 that one day. And then he's going to have to do that multiple days in the week. Because he lives with you. Because he stays, well, I expect my boyfriend to be even more than that. Okay, so now that you expect him to be even more than that, now he's got to do it at least twice. Well, it doesn't have to be $125. It's going to be $200 to $300 at least. And then you have a bad day the next month. And then if you keep on having bad days, your friends are going to be like, oh, girlie, I'm sorry. You don't deserve that. And they're going to send you messages of support. But they're going to stop buying so much. And they're going to stop showing up because you know what? They boss babes and they got to work too. So, you know what I mean? I don't understand when women get on here talking weird. I understand you want a man to just be there for me, listen to my struggles and the things that I'm going. I don't need you to necessarily fix it, but just having a bad day. Just hug me, cuddle me, let's watch Netflix, which is all great. But maybe the reason, number one, you said you dated good men. So I don't even know how we got here. Number two, as a man, he will say he's having a bad day and you'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Forehead kiss. Now get back out there and keep working. So if he's not getting that treatment from you, why do you expect that treatment from him?
Men can carry responsibility without turning that into their identity. But women have a hard time separating the two. Let me give you an example. A lot of women say, I wouldn't be in my masculine energy if that man had handled his responsibilities. Now, a lot of men will hear that and they don't hear it as effort. Because men aren't offended by the work. They are confused by the framing. They are confused by this identity talk that comes up when women do their responsibilities. When men do things that are traditionally feminine, right? They just do them. So If a man starts cooking, taking care of the kids, scheduling doctor's appointments, doing the everyday things, that man is not gonna be like, doing those things made me feminine. And if ever that man started talking like that, I promise you he's not going to expect people to clap for it, because he would expect the world to tell him, yo, get yourself together. So when men hear things like, I had to become masculine, what those men are actually hearing is, yo, pressure changed who I am. And that's the part that absolutely doesn't make sense to men. Because in their mind, how can handling responsibility cause you to see yourself differently? How does that rename you? Responsibility doesn't make you an entirely different person. It just means something needed to get done and you did it. That's it. So this really isn't about who worked harder. It's about what responsibility is allowed to mean once responsibility starts changing how somebody sees themselves.
Men don't want to date anymore. If that's the case, how are there so many men in our Dating the Wild group and men approaching me as I'm dancing down the street and walking down the beach? Men don't want to date anymore is the reality for some men, and I do understand why that's the case. And it's not the truth. And we have an issue in this culture taking our reality and making it seem like that's truth. It's not. The last chapter of my book is titled Truth. We talk about dating here because it's a doorway to delusion, but truth is where it's at, and most people can't handle it. Well, you know what? It's time to face the truth.
Why are you framing this like it's all men? A lot of men would never do that. They would move their stuff so someone could sit down. It's so weird to me how we see a man do something nice, and we never think all men do it like that, or this is how all men are. But as soon as a man does something that's inconsiderate, you assume it's all men. This is why we don't like you guys. No, there's a ton of men out there who are very considerate, who are very kind, and you don't ever give them any credit. That's why I feel like women are saying that they don't like men anymore. Because you're looking for all the men that prove your point. You're not looking for all the men who do the opposite. There are more men who would move their stuff than there are men who would just leave it like that. And when men see videos like this, and normally they're the type of man that would move their stuff, you're not exactly encouraging more men to want to be that way, to be considerate. And I see inconsiderate women all the time. Can I frame that as, oh, all women do this? No, I know not all women do that. I'll see women like at the grocery store blocking the entire aisle because she's got her cart turned and she's standing there and there's like no space to walk through. I see this happen often, but is it all women? No, not even close.
Lord, why did nobody tell me dating in your 30s is harder than dating in your 20s? The amount of men who are not emotionally available, the amount of men who are not emotionally mature, the amount of men who are still playing with their exes, the amount of men who just want to waste your time. Where are the men who are emotionally available? Where are the men who have cleared the slates with all their exes, who have an open heart, who are ready to communicate, who are ready for marriage? Where are the men of God? The men who live, serve, and worship God? Not just they go to church on Sundays, but they genuinely have a heart for God and live for God. Where are they at? It's ghetto out here. Can somebody come get me real quick? Because I don't like it.
I don't know how many times I've told these women, these men aren't going to compete for them.
Yeah, hey, can someone explain to me where the competitive men at? Like, I mean, the ones who have their energy of like a gladiator in a night. Because as soon as you tell a man that you're dating, he folds like a piece of paper.
Told you. I told you. I told you. You ain't tell me.
And when a woman says that she's dating, it doesn't mean that she's just sleeping around or not being intentional. It means may the best man win. Embrace competition, boo. Thank you.
This ain't no movie, lady. These men ain't gonna be out here fighting for you like the 300.
This is Sparta!
These men ain't chasing y'all and fighting for y'all like they used to. But y'all don't believe me. Y'all still think these men are gonna jump in the ring and fight for you like it's WrestleMania. Well, you keep on believing that. You're gonna keep getting disappointed. There are some men out there who are willing to do all that, but it ain't many. So if you find one, you better hope you like him, because it ain't gonna be too many after him. These men know now when a woman likes you, she's not gonna expect you to go through the Hunger Games to get her. So you can keep making these PSAs all you want, but it ain't gonna change anything. These men ain't doing it. And you also said just because you're dating multiple men doesn't mean you're sleeping with them, which is is true, but it doesn't mean you're not sleeping with them either. And these men aren't going to keep spending their time and money trying to figure that out. So you can keep doing what you're doing, but just remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you don't get a different result, there it is.
Proverbs 21:9, better to live on the corner of the roof. Do you know what they put on their roofs 3,000 years ago? Animal dung. Better to sleep in the manure than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Listen, young single man, when you're dating, watch this. You need to pay attention. Is the girl that you're dating, is she naturally submissive to the God-given authority structures in her life? To healthy authority? Is she does she honor her parents? The God-given authority at her work, does she naturally honor and submit to those authorities? Because if she's real quarrelsome and she has this attitude of nobody tells me what to do, nobody's in control of me, I follow the Spirit of God. This is what Christian manipulative girls do. I don't follow you, I follow the Spirit of God, okay? Now, yes, we always Jesus above human authorities, but in healthy situations, the Spirit of God will lead you to submit to the authority structures God's put in place. And if she's got a quarrelsome spirit, watch out. Because someday you become the authority structure and she's going to do that to you. So this is what it's saying right here. Let me read another verse. Proverbs 21:19. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. Better and have your eyes plucked out of your eye sockets by buzzards. Bible verse. Than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife.
After 30, that's when a woman starts thinking. Because
So before 30, Jololo, apana chin.
yes, she's not thinking.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Because she's getting free attention. She's getting, she's living life on easy mode, right? Because men are still paying attention to her. But now when you get to 30, you're old.
No one
They are
is
now
paying
looking at the young. Yes. They are now looking at the younger women. And now she has to think.
So now I have to think.
Yes. That's when they start thinking.
Okay, so women before 30 don't think much.
From how do you say it? Okay, preschool years, 4 or 5 years, right? You'd see this little girl, she's very intelligent, yes? She goes on up to age 16. She's very intelligent, more intelligent than the boys, right?
Okay.
16, what happens? I think that's when you'd say puberty actually starts. The breasts start developing, the hips, the buttocks. Men start paying attention to her. She goes, the brain goes, stops functioning. 16 up to what? And then after 30, she gets They come back.
Women, I'm so sick and tired of the daggone complaining. Oh, there ain't no good men out there. Oh, they ain't at church. They ain't in none of the places that you said they are. They ain't in none of the places you mentioned. Oh, yes, they are. Good men are all around you. They just ain't interested in you. You see, it's not enough to just want a good man. You have to be qualified and worthy of a good man's time and effort. And keep this in mind, men are very visual creatures and good men are as well. So we got to be attracted to you for us to want to take the time to approach you. No, I'm not saying you have to dress provocatively, showing off all the goods, but you have to look presentable and be approachable. Have a pleasant look about you. Smile and make eye contact every once in a while when applicable. And once contact is made, be pleasant to be around, right? Be fun and fun-loving. Be interesting and show interest. Be a virtuous woman. Be womanly and feminine, but not feminist, okay? Don't be narcissistic. Don't be bossy. Showcase that you know how to follow his lead. Remember, a good man is a king, and he is searching for his queen to help rule his kingdom, not a queen who is trying to take over his kingdom and rule as king and queen, all right? So be worthy of queenship and be worthy of a good man's time and effort.
And it was a guy that was talking about how men are basically threatened by feminism because it allows women to see how men move and how they show up in the world. And now the jig is up, basically. And he ended off the video with saying, well, at least that's what I've seen. And that's the problem, isn't it? That's what you've seen. And what you're seeing is wrong. These modern women out here with feminism, let's take feminism and move it to the side. Let's talk about the relationship between men and women. Just period. We didn't have this. We couldn't do that. I understand. I got it. So now you need to look for, because you have those opportunities, a good man. Well, a good man is, let me hear it, He's kind, he's thoughtful, he's emotionally intelligent, he's emotionally mature, he's done the work. And they say all that, and then they say, well, you know, money's going to get you in the door. Money's a prerequisite. That's what they've said. Period. End of story. You know, after you have a certain amount of money, then I'll talk to you. That's what they said. I'm not making that up. I can tell you the woman that said that. Money's only a prerequisite. She talks about dating high value men a lot. I think one of the things that she talked about was, you know, when you date a high value man, you can't say that he fumbled you because he has so much going on. Bingo. Bingo. Now they're going for these high value men and they're putting you back in your place where you belong. I fumbled him, or he fumbled me. No, he didn't. And now you're back down where you need to be. And you can't accept that this is where I need to be. This is actually where I am. This is actually who I am. I'm an average person. I need to find one of these guys that's of average height, good looking guy, and have a good life. But you don't want to. Instead, you'll say that men are mad at feminism and men can't handle women have higher standards. These are stupid standards. These are superficial standards. And when you call women, well, you know, I should be allowed to be superficial. Okay, then. If you're allowed to be superficial, why are you bringing up your education? Why are you bringing up the fact that you bought a house and you're maturing more than faster than men are? If you're allowed to be superficial, if you want to pull superficial out of your behind. Exactly. Y'all are doing whatever you want to do. You don't have any depth to you. And you're mad that the men that you want see that and send you right on back to the streets.
You can't make this stuff up.
I think women are capable to do anything without a man.
Do y'all think women need men?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. No.
Why not?
So how we gonna have babies?
Because we run the world.
Like what she said.
I think
How any of the infrastructure is gonna get built? How any of the dangerous jobs gonna get fulfilled?
women are capable to do anything without a man, so that's why I don't think that no women need a man.
Never, no logic ever to be found with most of these women these days. Modern women are cooked.
Okay, one more thing. And actually, I'm gay, and anything a man could do, I can do myself. So, hello.
What's the past
You wonder why women are getting passed right on by, changing tires and everything else. Remember, y'all don't need no men, so we gonna let y'all change y'all own tires and everything else. Somebody breaking your house, you go ahead, baby. You get up, you handle it.
Of go.
The past tense of go.
Wait, past tense of go, right?
Yeah. Past tense of go. Past tense of go.
Yeah, our educational system definitely done failed us, y'all.
I really feel like it's Siri. No,
wait. We're gonna get it.
We can't ask Siri.
It's like it seems so easy, you know.
It is easy, I promise you.
Next question.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
What continents are we in right now?
Oh my fucking
Oh yeah, man.
Hold on, I know all 7.
You can't make this stuff up, man. Stay dangerous, stay smart, man.
Someone commented on my other video, like, why does he see more women make videos about like how single life is such a struggle and it's hard for them, and he doesn't see a lot of men making those types of videos? And in my opinion, there are more women looking to settle down, looking for something serious. And I feel like the majority of men are not looking for those type of things, which is why there's an imbalance in the dating pool. We have all these women like, I want my husband, I want to get married, I want to be a mom, I want to, you know, lock it down. And then the men in the pool are like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm still trying to be outside. I want to date multiple people, or they're just looking to hook up. They want to have a situationship. So it's no balance. So you see a lot of women complaining that the men in the dating pool, they're not attracting the type of men that they're looking for because men are not looking for anything serious. That's just my opinion. And with that, because guys aren't looking for anything serious, they have tons of options. So why, I'm not looking for anything serious. You are. I'm not going to change my ways to settle down with you when there's all these other women that I could pick from. So you're not seeing a lot of men complain about being single or dating sucks for them because they're actually having a good time being single because they're not looking to settle down. Most of them aren't, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know. Why do you think men are having more success in being single and dating than women are?
Why don't women inherently go with the guy that's best for them?
To keep it very simple, historically, we have been programmed to conform to being a victim. Women, we like to be the one that got done wrong. This is why we struggle with accountability. Most women chase bad boys because being with a bad boy allows you to end up being a victim at some point or another.
Why do they want to be victims?
It is programmed in us that poor me is some type of flex as a woman and as a mother, where the majority of the women right off bat I knew I was going to be a single mother. I knew. And being a single mother, being a woman, poor woman left with children to raise on her own. That is something that they get to flex off of. They believe it is a flex. That's why when I say it produces the worst product, the comeback is, well, he did it to me. The bad boys will allow, you're able to say, girl, I was fucking with Tyrone, he in the streets. Yeah, he took me out. It was exciting. There's the excitement side, but then there's always, if this doesn't work out with Tyrone, I have a story where Tyrone was the one that did me wrong.
Has been constant arguments and disagreements in relationships with a black woman. You can't lead them because their success, quote unquote, ego will not let them be submissive. If I am more hard or not being submissive in a relationship, it's because I don't feel like I can trust you to lead. Like, this is not a safe space for me to be soft and gentle. And I think that's sometimes what men don't want to hear or they don't understand. If somebody's giving you a hard time and they're not submissive, it's probably because they don't feel safe with you.
Can I call BS on that? I think I'm allowed. The inconsistency in statements like that. We'll say things like, we don't feel safe enough to trust him, but you feel safe enough to let him turn you every which way but loose. Unprotected, might I add. You feel safe enough to give this man and a few other men babies, risking your life and everything. You feel safe enough to give this man a key to your home. You feel safe enough to let this man drive your car, babysit your children when you go to work. You even feel safe enough to let this man pay your bills if he chose to do that. But you don't feel safe to let him lead you. Us women, we say we want leadership. We say that all the time. But in reality, we don't want leadership. We want somebody who's already going down the same path as us. And ultimately, that's not having a man who leads. That's women being in control. Can't fully experience leadership if our default is resistance. You really won't be submissive for the right man because in reality, you're just ignoring accountability. When we pick and choose when we're being submissive, the man cannot lead effectively, which puts us in this cycle that the men don't know how to lead. But at the end of the day, women, we don't know how to follow. You see where I'm going? The cycle is repetitive.
Hey, I'm probably going to lose some people over this one, but if I do, so be it. But can we stop pretending that men are the reason that there's these unrealistic and extremely high beauty standards for women? Like, can we all stop pretending that's because of men? Like, come on, it isn't. It isn't. You're going to see, the patriarchy and all this, and I'm not, like, this isn't even about that, but, like, no. The only reason women get so dolled up is for other women to know that they got dolled up. Like, women care more about what other women look like in public than men do. I promise. I promise. Men, be a man, back me up here, please, because it's true. Men don't give a flying crap how long your eyelashes are, how much foundation you got on, what kind of style of eyeliner you're using. No. No. I'd say 85% of men would rather see you with the messy hair, no makeup, and wearing one of his oversized t-shirts and some PJs than wearing all that makeup. Stop pretending men are the reason that there's unrealistically high beauty standards of eggs. Stop. Please. Respectfully.
When people say that they hate astrology, I just think that they hate women.
I'm sorry, but was that supposed to make any reasonable amount of sense? Disliking astrology is the equivalent to sexism now? Okay. Now, and I don't hate astrology. I just happen to find it illogical and irrational and not worth any reasonable person's time.
Men do something collectively, it's known as a trend or a fad, but when men do something collectively, it becomes culture.
Oh dear, really? They're actually diving into this one, aren't they?
Men who go on dates with men and ask about their star sign are no different to men who go on dates and ask women if they fear God. There's really no difference.
Really?
Women's activities are just dehumanized and ridiculed and mocked under this current society.
When someone runs out of legitimate things to complain about, this is what happens.
And there's just such a trope of like women going on dates and being like, what's your star sign? And being like, oh, like you're not into that, are you? And it just shows their subconscious bias. Like, you just don't value things that women like. Sorry.
No, most people don't like astrology because it is irrational. Stop trying to make things into something they are not.
While I was pregnant, I broke up with him. So when I had her, I actually didn't call him to come be a part of the birth. And I think he was a little begrudged, but that's neither here nor there. That was for me. I wanted to have that moment be sacred and special. I wanted to be able to be focused, you know, and just be supported by my mom, my sisters, my aunts, my grandmother. I definitely wasn't myself for a long time.
I stopped approaching women after I went on a date with this girl. Movie, dinner, drinks. I paid for everything. We went back to my crib, touched each other private parts, all on the first link. We scheduled our second date a week later at this event downtown. Day before the event, I come down with a bad fever, so I cancel. She decides to still go. I was bedridden, not in the mood to cook or anything, so I asked if she could drop me off some food. She says, no, I can't. That's girlfriend behavior. So you were cool with me whining and dining you at my expense, sleeping with me on the first date, but dropping off a plate of food that I was going to pay for is where you draw the line? The dating game all messed up.
Even if you were one of those kind of men that believe you bought a woman dinner and drinks and she owed you her body, she gave you her body. And in the words of Tyrese,
what more do you want from me?
What all do you think that you bought with that dinner and those drinks? You think it bought you servitude? She already slept with you and you still looking around like, and I thought you were going to take care of me when I was sick too. All that for dinner and some drinks? And she's right, she's not your girlfriend. Now all of a sudden after one date, she was be taking care of you when you're sick? You pulled out a hoop that you wanted that woman to jump through, and when she didn't, you're like, see, that's the problem with the dating game. That women don't jump through hoops? Because what made you think after only one date that she owed you anything else? We live in a day and time where you can get practically anything you want delivered to your doorstep. It wasn't about the food. It was about you testing her. The dinner and drinks already got you her body, and you wanted to see what else it got you. If you give a mouse a cookie, then he's going to want a glass of milk. She knew that this would have been the beginning of you thinking you could expect favors and special treatment, boyfriend treatment, of a man who hasn't made himself one and hasn't even gotten to that point. Her video reeks of entitlement. She's not the reason the dating game is all messed up, sir. You are.
Let me ask you a question, because we keep on, once again, talking about the manosphere is giving bad dating advice on purpose. Okay, I can go with that. Let's say 50% of it is bad advice. Would that make you happy if you say 50% of the men out here are giving terrible advice? Okay, what about the women that get on here and say, you know, I really don't like nice guys. I like a man that's kind of, he's so you say that you like bad boys? Yeah, I do like a bad boy, you know, because you know you never know, and he gives you an adrenaline rush, and he does this and this, and then you have women that come on after that and they say, date the boring guy, date the nerd. I've tried them all. I've tried the bad guy. He's emotionally unavailable. He's not emotionally mature. He don't communicate. And I know we had fun with that guy, but the bad boy is out. The nice guy is in. Women said that. So even if you take these guys in the manosphere that are saying that type of stuff and put them all to the side, you still have that stuff is coming out of a woman's mouth. It's coming out of a woman's mouth. Y'all be hearing what y'all be saying? Y'all be hearing what y'all be talking about? Stupid. That's what I be saying. Man, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but this stuff is coming out of a woman's mouth. A woman is saying that. Well, I don't really like. I don't respect a nice guy. I left a good man. You know, he did this, he did that, but I just felt like he wasn't. Yeah, just wasn't doing it for me. And he went out there. Oh man, this guy, he's an alpha. He really knows what he wants. Only to come back a year or two later and say, I should have never left you. Thinking of another woman. I was a jerk to my man. And I realize that now. I thought the grass was greener and I should have stayed with him. He's married now and we've moved past it. We're good. But I made a huge mistake. And now that I've gone through the healing process and I've taken a look at myself, I can take accountability and say, I really did that man wrong. I fumbled that man. So is it the manosphere saying it, or is it a woman coming up and saying, I really messed that up? I shouldn't have done that. you talking about, man? What are you talking about?